Hi everyone, happy holidays. I just left visiting my grandma, and wow, every time I visit her at her advanced care center where she lives, it always strikes me how unbelievably precious life is, and how precious our health and our mental health and being in a coherent mental capacity, how precious that all is. And I always kind of, in the back of my mind, think about how I always wonder how many people actually go into these homes, because you wouldn't really go there unless you have someone to visit. And even if you have someone to visit, maybe you don't live in that state. Maybe you live in a different country now, and your ability to go visit, it's not super accessible. But for me, of course, these people I hope that they've lived beautiful lives up to this point, but a lot of them are living in not so nice situations. If their brain is there, the body is maybe really struggling, and vice versa. If the body is in a good place, they are experiencing dementia or Alzheimer's, and whenever I go in there, hearing these senior people yelling, seeking help, unable to feed themselves, in distress, sad. It honestly breaks my heart. And I can see why some people who I know don't really want to go, don't really want to see that, because it's freaking heavy. And there's a lot of crazy things happening in the world, but crazy, heavy things around us. It's a part of life. With the good, there's always going to be the equal and opposite expression, right? The grief, the sadness, the pain, the horrors, the chaos. And time again, I come back to how precious this life is, how important it is to me to think long term and proactively about, I want to set myself up through the choices I make to have maximum life in my years. Of course, yes, more years. Yes, who doesn't want more years? I would think most people would probably agree with that. But it's not necessarily lifespan, it's also health span. And there's a lot that we can do to influence the likelihood of adding more quality life to those years. And with all of that said, some of the things I've learned from visiting my grandma over the years is, especially with people who have dementia, have Alzheimer's, which is what my grandma has at this stage, it is still so beautiful how I'm able to connect with her. And this might sound a little woo-woo, but through my heart, in my experience. And maybe it's purely that I had a really special relationship with my grandma, and so when I'm with her, she can feel that. I give her deep presence, intimate eye contact, and she's unable to, it's much more of a challenge for her to connect and communicate using details, using words, expressing herself in that way. but she can feel energy and she can feel love. And that's what I drop into even more deeply when I'm with her. And I was moved to tears today when I did that while I was feeding her at lunch, and I was showing her pictures from when, past memories, and of course she didn't remember them. And I acknowledged that, and I said, it's okay that you don't remember, but there's so many sweet moments where I'm holding her hands and she says something like, I know we've spent a lot of time, I can tell we've spent a lot of time together, or, oh, I know you belong to me. And, in part, it breaks my heart a little bit because I've invested so much time into this relationship and to build such a special bond and so much love. And at the same time, it's like it's still there in so many ways. And while life can be so cruel at times, there's, like I said, grief, sadness, pain, horrible things that we see in the news. I really do believe that the sweetness of life is in the moments of connection, of heartfelt connection. And in a world that seems to be getting more and more divided, I am committed to maintaining an open heart and an open mind and connecting with other souls and other people with my heart. And so those are just some thoughts from today of visiting a woman who I love so deeply, who may not remember me and exactly who I am to her, but I'm just feeling so moved and so grateful. That's as I was driving home, I was thinking, like, what am I feeling? Because I'm feeling sadness, I'm feeling some grief, I'm feeling no regret. I feel so good about how I lived up to this point in that relationship with her. But what am I feeling? Oh, it's gratitude. It's gratitude for having had someone so special in my life, and for still being able to connect to her, even though she doesn't know exactly all the details. Like, she knows that I belong to her and she belongs to me. And just feeling so grateful for that. So I'm wishing you all the most merry of holidays, and sending you so much love.